ವಿವೇಕಾನಂದ ಗ್ರಾಮಾಂತರ ಪದವಿ ಪೂರ್ವ ಕಾಲೇಜು ವತಿಯಿಂದ ಹಮ್ಮಿಕೊಂಡಿರುವ ಕೆರಿಯರ್ ಗೈಡೆನ್ಸ್ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗಮಿಸಿರುವ ತಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಸ್ವಾಗತಿಸುವ ಸದಾವಕಾಶ ನನ್ನದು. ಮೊದಲಿಗೆ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳ ಏಳಿಗೆಗಾಗಿ ಈ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮವನ್ನು ಆಯೋಜಿಸಿರುವ ನಿಮ್ಮ ನೆಚ್ಚಿನ ಪ್ರಾಂಶುಪಾಲರಾದ ಶ್ರೀಮತಿ ರೂಪಾದೇವಿ ಮೇಡಮ್ ಅವರಿಗೂ ಅವರ ಅನುಪಸ್ಥಿತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಕ್ಕೆ ಹೃತ್ಪೂರ್ವಕದ ಸ್ವಾಗತವನ್ನು ಬಯಸುತ್ತೇನೆ. ಎರಡನೆಯದಾಗಿ ಸ್ವಾಮಿ ವಿವೇಕಾನಂದ ಗ್ರಾಮಾಂತರ ಶಿಕ್ಷಣ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆಯ ಆಡಳಿತಾಧಿಕಾರಿಗಳಾದಂತಹ ನಿಮ್ಮ ನೆಚ್ಚಿನ ಶ್ರೀಯುತ ಕಿರಣ್ ಕುಮಾರ್ ಸರ್ ಅವರಿಗೂ ಹೃತ್ಪೂರ್ವಕದ ಸ್ವಾಗತವನ್ನು ಬಯಸುತ್ತೇನೆ. ನಂತರ ಪ್ರಾಂಶುಪಾಲರಾದಂತಹ ಶ್ರೀಯುತ ವೆಂಕಟೇಶ್ ಬಾಬು ಸರ್ ಅವರಿಗೂ ಈ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಕ್ಕೆ ಹೃತ್ಪೂರ್ವಕವಾದ ಸ್ವಾಗತವನ್ನು ಬಯಸುತ್ತೇನೆ. ಈ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮದ ಮುಖ್ಯ ಅತಿಥಿಯಾಗಿ ಆಗಮಿಸಿರುವ ಅಸೋಸಿಯೇಟ್ ಪ್ರೊಫೆಸರ್ ಆಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂತಹ ಮಾಸ್ಟರ್ ಇನ್ ಕಾಮರ್ಸ್, KSET qualified, PhD holder from Mysore University, 16-year experience in Department of Commerce and Management, 10 years experience as a HOD of BBA, 4 years experience as a ISA coordinator, ಹಾಗೂ author of few BCom books, International Financial Reporting Standards IFRS, Goods and Service Tax, Indian Accounting Standards. These books are published by Professor Parvizullah sir. He was participated in 4 international paper presentation programs on various topics. Once again, I welcome heartily to this program Mr. ಹಾಗೂ ಪದವಿ ಪೂರ್ವ ಕಾಲೇಜಿನ ವಿಜ್ಞಾನ ವಿಭಾಗದ ಕೋಆರ್ಡಿನೇಟರ್ ಆಗಿ ಕಾರ್ಯನಿರ್ವಹಿಸತಕ್ಕಂತಹ ವಿಜ್ಞಾನ ವಿಭಾಗದ ತ್ರಿವೇಣಿ ಮೇಡಮ್ ಅವರಿಗೂ ಈ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಕ್ಕೆ ವಾಣಿಜ್ಯ ವಿಭಾಗದಲ್ಲಿ ಕೋಆರ್ಡಿನೇಟರ್ ಆಗಿ ಕಾರ್ಯನಿರ್ವಹಿಸತಕ್ಕಂತಹ ಶ್ರೀಯುತ ಶ್ರೀಧರ್ ಸರ್ ಅವರಿಗೂ ವೇದಿಕೆಗೆ ಸ್ವಾಗತ. ಪದವಿ ಪೂರ್ವ ಕಾಲೇಜಿನ ಕನ್ನಡ ವಿಭಾಗದ ಸನತ್ ಸರ್ ಅವರಿಗೂ ಸಹ ವೇದಿಕೆಗೆ ಸ್ವಾಗತವನ್ನು ಕೋರುತ್ತೇನೆ. ಹಾಗೆ ನನ್ನ ಹೆಚ್ಚಿನ ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಬೋಧಕೇತರ ವೃಂದದವರಿಗೂ ಈ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಕ್ಕೆ ಸ್ವಾಗತವನ್ನ ಕೋರುತ್ತೇನೆ. ನನ್ನ ನೆಚ್ಚಿನ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳೇ, ನಿಮಗೂ ಸಹ ಈ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಕ್ಕೆ ಹೃತ್ಪೂರ್ವಕದ ಸ್ವಾಗತವನ್ನು ಬಯಸುತ್ತೇನೆ. ಎಲ್ಲ ಉದ್ದೇಶಿಸಿ ಒಂದೆರಡು ಹಿತನುಡಿಗಳನ್ನ ಹೇಳಬೇಕಾಗಿ ಪದವಿ ಕಾಲೇಜಿನ ಪ್ರಾಂಶುಪಾಲರಾದ ವೆಂಕಟೇಶ್ ಬಾಬು ಸರ್ ಅವರನ್ನ ವೇದಿಕೆಗೆ ಆಹ್ವಾನಿಸುತ್ತೇನೆ.
ವೇದಿಕೆಯಲ್ಲಿರುವಂತಹ ಸಹೋದ್ಯೋಗಿಗಳೇ ಹಾಗೂ ನೆಚ್ಚಿನ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳೇ, ಇವತ್ತು ಬಹಳ ಮುಖ್ಯ ದಿನ ಅಂತ ಅನ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ನೀವು ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ PUC ಏನಿದೆ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಹೈಯರ್ ಎಜುಕೇಶನ್ಗೆ ಹೋಗುವಂಥವ್ರಿದ್ದೀರಿ. ಇದು ಅದೇ ರೀತಿ ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ಗೊಂದಲಗಳೂ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಕನ್ಫ್ಯೂಷನ್ಸ್. ಯಾವ ಕೋರ್ಸ್ ತಗೊಳ್ಬೇಕು ಅಥವಾ ಯಾವ ಕಾಲೇಜ್ ಸೇರ್ಬೇಕು ಅಥವಾ NEP ನಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಿದೆಯಲ್ಲ ಅದು 3 ವರ್ಷ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, 4 ವರ್ಷ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಅದೇ ರೀತಿ ಏನಿದೆ ಮುಂದೆ ಇವಾಗೇನೋ ಒಂದು ಕೋರ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ, ಇನ್ನು 10 ವರ್ಷ ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಅಥವಾ 5 ವರ್ಷ ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಯಾವ ಕೋರ್ಸ್ಗೆ ಏನು ಆಗಬಹುದು ಅನ್ನೋ ಒಂದು ಏನಿದೆ ಗೊಂದಲಗಳು ಇದ್ದೇ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಇದು. ಅದೇ ರೀತಿ ಕೆಲವರು ಏನಿದೆಯಲ್ಲ ಅದು CA ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಂತ ಇರ್ತಾರ, ಕೆಲವರು ಏನಿದೆಯಲ್ಲ ಅದು BCA ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು ಅಥವಾ BCom ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು, BBA ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು, BSc ಅಥವಾ ಇಂಜಿನಿಯರಿಂಗ್ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕಂತ ಈ ತರ ಸುಮಾರು ಏನಿದೆಯಲ್ಲ ಅದು ಕೋರ್ಸ್ಗಳಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಮುಖ್ಯವಾಗಿ ಕನ್ಫ್ಯೂಷನ್ಸ್ ಇರುವಂತದ್ದು ಈ ಸ್ಟೇಜ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಿದೆಯಲ್ಲ ಅದು ನ್ಯೂ ಎಜುಕೇಶನ್ ಪಾಲಿಸಿ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಏನಿದೆ ತುಂಬಾ ಏನಿದೆ ಕನ್ಫ್ಯೂಷನ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ ಮಕ್ಕಳಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಿತ್ತು. ಆ ಒಂದು ನಿಟ್ಟಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಿದೆ ಇವತ್ತು NEP ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಮತ್ತೆ ಕರಿಯರ್ ಆಪರ್ಚುನಿಟೀಸ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಬಹಳ ಮುಖ್ಯವಾಗಿ ಇನ್ನ ಒಂದು ವಿಚಾರ ಇದೆ, ಈ ಅಡ್ಮಿಷನ್ ಪ್ರೋಸೆಸ್ ಏನಿದೆಯಲ್ಲ ಆನ್ಲೈನ್ ಪ್ರೋಸೆಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಇವಾಗೆಲ್ಲ ನನ್ನದು, ಅದು ಯಾವ ತರ ರಿಜಿಸ್ಟರ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋದು ಏನಿದೆ ತುಂಬಾ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಶನ್ ನಿಮಗೆ ಬೇಕಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ ಫಾರ್ ಟೇಕಿಂಗ್ ಯುವರ್ ಡಿಸಿಷನ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ಆ ಒಂದು ನಿಟ್ಟಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಿದೆ ಇವತ್ತು ಅದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ತುಂಬಾ ಏನಿದೆ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಂಡಿರುವಂತ ಒಬ್ಬ ಏನಿದೆ ರಿಸೋರ್ಸ್ ಪರ್ಸನ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು, ಅಥವಾ ಏನಿದೆ ಎಮಿನೆಂಟ್ ಪರ್ಸನಾಲಿಟಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ನಮ್ಮ ಮುಂದೆ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅವರೇ ಪರ್ವೀಸ್ ಉಲ್ಲಾ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಅವರು ನಮ್ಮ ಡಿಗ್ರಿ ಕಾಲೇಜಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಸುಮಾರು ವರ್ಷಗಳಿಂದ ಏನಿದೆ ಆಸ್ ಎ ಹೆಡ್ ಆಗಿ ಅಥವಾ ಕೋಆರ್ಡಿನೇಟರ್ ಆಗಿ ಏನಿದೆ ವರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅದು ಇವರು ಇದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಏನಿದೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಏನಿದೆ ಐಡಿಯಾ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಅಂಡ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ ಒನ್ ಏನಿದೆ ಅದು ಸಜೆಷನ್ಸ್ ಫಾರ್ ಯು ಗೈಸ್, ವೆನೆವರ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ಸೆಲೆಕ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ದ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಷನ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ದ ಕೋರ್ಸಸ್ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಇನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಪ್ಲೀಸ್ ಡೋಂಟ್ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಜಂಪ್ ಇನ್ ಟು ದ ಕನ್ಕ್ಲೂಷನ್ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಲೈಕ್ ದಟ್. ಐದರ್ ಸುಮಾರು ಕೇಸಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನನಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿರೋದು, ನಾನು ನೋಡಿರುವಂತದ್ದು, ಅಡ್ಮಿಷನ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬರುವಾಗ ನನ್ನ ಫ್ರೆಂಡು ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಸೇರಿದರೆ ನಾನು ಅಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂತ. ಎರಡನೇದು, ನನ್ನ ಫ್ರೆಂಡು ಏನಿದೆ ಇವನ್ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ BBA ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಅವ್ರ ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್ ಇಂದ BCom ತಗೊಂಡಿರ್ತಾರೆ, ಅವ್ರು ನನ್ನ ಜೊತೆಗಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು BBA ಇಷ್ಟ ಇದ್ರು BCom ಬಂದಿರುವಂತ ಕೇಸಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಅದರಿಂದ ಆತರ ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡಕ್ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಡಿ. ಅದು ನಿಮಗೆ ಯಾವ್ದು ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಇದೆಯೋ ಆ ಕೋರ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಸೆಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, ಅದು ತುಂಬಾ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಗೊತ್ತಿರೋದು. ಅದರಿಂದ ಈಗ ಎರಡನೇದೇನಿದೆ, ಇನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಷನ್ಸ್ ಸೆಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರು ಹುಷಾರಾಗಿರಿ. ಅದು ಕಾರಣ ನನ್ನ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೀರಿಯನ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲೇ ನಾನು ಹೇಳೋದು, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಐ ನಾಟ್ ಇಮ್ಯಾಜಿನ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಟೆಲಿಂಗ್ ಎನಿಥಿಂಗ್. ಸುಮಾರು ಕಾಲೇಜ್, ಐ ಡೋಂಟ್ ವಾಂಟ್ ಟು ಮೆನ್ಷನ್ ದ ಕಾಲೇಜಸ್, ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲೇನೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಓದಿ ಬೇರೆ ಕಾಲೇಜುಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಿದೆ ಸೇರಿದಾಗ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಇಯರ್ಗೂ ಮತ್ತೆ ಫೈನಲ್ ಇಯರ್ಗೂ ತಿರುಗಿ ವಾಪಸ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಬಂದಿರುವಂತ ಉದಾಹರಣೆಗಳು ಕೂಡ ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಇದಾವೆ. ಅದರಿಂದ ಏನಿದೆ, ಬೆಟರ್ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಥಿಂಕ್ ಟ್ವೈಸ್ ಬಿಫೋರ್ ಸೆಲೆಕ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ದ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಷನ್. ಅಂಡ್ ಮೋರ್ ಓವರ್ ಬಹಳ ಮುಖ್ಯವಾಗಿ ಏನಿದೆ, people are getting attracted very easily because of by seeing the infrastructure or another thing. ಬಿಲ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ನೋಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಗ್ಲಾಸ್ ನೋಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಏನಿದೆಯಲ್ಲ ಅದು ಅಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗ್ತೀವಿ, ಅಥವಾ AC ನೋಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಏನಿದೆ ಬೇಕಂತ ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ. ಆದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು ಜ್ಞಾಪಕ ಇಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, ಅದು 3 ವರ್ಷ ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ತಿರ್ಸೋ ಏನಿದೆ ಕೂರ್ಸೋಕ್ಕೂ ಬಿಡೋದಿಲ್ಲ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ. ನಿಮ್ ಹಿಂದೆ ಬರೋದೇನಿದೆ, ನಿಮ್ ಎಜುಕೇಶನ್, ನಿಮ್ ಸರ್ಟಿಫಿಕೇಟ್, ನಾಲೆಡ್ಜ್ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಏನೂ ಬರೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಅದರಿಂದ ಬಿ ಕೇರ್ಫುಲ್ ವೆನ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ಸೆಲೆಕ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ದ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಷನ್ಸ್. ಅಂಡ್ ಇವತ್ತೇನಿದೆ ಈಸ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೈನಿಂಗ್ ಇನ್ ಡೀಟೇಲ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ NEP ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಇದ್ದು, ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ಲಿ ಅದು ತುಂಬಾ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ ಇದ್ದು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ನಾನು 2 ಮಾತನ್ನ ಮುಗಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು.
ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳನ್ನು ಕುರಿತು ತಮ್ಮ ಅನುಭವದ ನುಡಿಗಳನ್ನು ನುಡಿದಂತಹ ಪ್ರಥಮ ದರ್ಜೆ ಕಾಲೇಜಿನ ಪ್ರಾಂಶುಪಾಲರಾದ ವೆಂಕಟೇಶ್ ಗೌಡ ಸರ್ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು. ಈಗ ನಿಮ್ಮನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಕುರಿತು ಸೆಮಿನಾರ್ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡಲಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಮಿಸ್ಟರ್ ಪ್ರವೀಣ್ ಜಿಲ್ಲಾ ಸರ್.
So Honorable Principal Sri Venkatesh Babu, Swami Vivekananda Rural First Aid College, and the respected staff members of both the institution, PU institution and First Aid College, and my dear students. Pleasant morning to everyone. Okay, so as sir said, well said. Today definitely you are going to take some knowledge from this orientation. So I am standing before you today just to orient you guys on 2 parameters. One is very important one, that's National Education Policy 2020. According to me, you know, it's very much needed for the every citizen of our country, and moreover the students like you guys and the people who are under this field. Okay, the people who are under the education field, example teachers, professors and the students. So for them it's very very important to aware about what is our education policy says, what our new education policy says, what the policy we had earlier, okay, and what new policies we have. So that we are going to that I am going to present here in detail. And another important part is, like the sir said, everybody will be having the confusion once you are entering into a new environment. Say within 1 to 3 months you are signing off this from institution and you are signing in to another institution where you are joining too many courses. So a lot of confusions will be there among the parents, among the students. Okay, So how to clear that confusions? Okay, so I am the solution for that. So I have brought up some points here. How to select a course, how to select a college, and all. I think it will also help you guys in selecting the college and courses. Okay, so before I proceed with my presentation, let me ask you one question. Have you aware about National Education Policy 2020? It's not a new one. 2 years back, it is introduced by the central government under the cabinet ministry. Okay. Have you aware about National Education Policy 2020? What it is? Some people say it's new education policy. It's a new National Education Policy 2020. It's quite interesting. Okay. So for you guys, as I said, it's most important. Most important for you guys, because once you are entering into a PG, UG course, no, you are under NEP. Your entire education process, what you will learn after your PU, it is under NEP. So very proudly I can say, Karnataka is the first state in our India, in our country, who introduced the National Education Policy in the higher educational institution. Okay, so it's a proud moment. It is a proud moment for each one of us. Okay, so from past 2 years, we are following National Education Policy only in our education system, especially in the degree, in the PG. Okay, in the higher education institution. Okay, so let me start about National Education Policy, what it is. See, before this also, we had a policy, education policy, that was framed in the year 1986. We had that what you guys are learning, that's the old one only. The new one is implemented only in the higher educational institution. Very soon it is coming to schools also. Within 1 to 3 days it will come to schools also, PU level also. So right now you people are up to PUC in Karnataka. We are following the old policy that is started in the year 1986. Okay, which is replaced after 34 years. After 34 years of old policy, now they have replaced the new education policy, National Education Policy, in the year 2020. Okay, that's in 29th July 2020. Union Cabinet has introduced this policy. Okay, so what is the main aim? Main aim of this education policy is to make India global knowledge superpower. That is the main aim. Okay, to make our country the global knowledge superpower, this scheme is introduced. So here I'll try to compare the previous system with the new system. So previously what we had, and now what we are having as per the new policy. So this one is the previous academic structure what we are following, and this is the new one. Okay, so as per previous law, from age 6 to 16, 10 classes we used to learn, standard 1 to standard 10. Okay, then afterwards 2 years pre-university, like what you are doing, pre-university course. After that 3 years PG and 2 years UG. That is the system we had. But now it is changed to the new pedagogy and curriculum structure like this. So earlier system 10+2 system was dropped. Okay, now they have initiated this 5+3+3+4. This is the new system they have initiated. What exactly it is? I think the old system you know, 10+2 system you know, up to 10 SSLC, then PUC, then degree and all. Now what is the new system is 5+3+3+4 has been initiated. So what exactly it is, let us learn one by one. So under 5 what, 3 what, 4, everything. So it is divided into 4 stages. The new system has divided into 4 stages. Stage 1 we call as foundation stage, and stage 2 we call as a preparatory stage, and stage 3 is middle school stage, and stage 4 is the high school stage. Okay, so let us learn in detail what exactly each stage speaks about. So foundation stage, that duration is 5 years. So it's begin from the age of 3. Now the student are entering into school at the age of 3 as per the new policy. So here at the age 3 to 4 we call as Anganawadi. We call that as Anganawadi. Then age 4 to 5 we call as a preschool, and age 5 to 6 they are learning under Balavatika. Then age 6 to 7 is the class 1, and age 7 to 8 is the class 2. Okay, so this is the foundation stage. One interesting thing here is the students are not going to write any examination. Okay, up to second standard. Yes, up to second standard examination means happiness for you guys. Okay. Okay. So up to second standard, students should not supposed to write any examination. But what they need to do there? Just learning with playing. Learning the things with playing. Okay, all 5 years. All 5 years our kids will learn with playing, in the practical way. Okay, only play, no exams. Next, second stage is a preparatory stage. There 3 years. Its duration is 3 years. Okay, it starts from third standard, 4th standard, 5th standard comes under preparatory stage. Okay, so age 8 to 9 is class 3, then 9 to 10 is class 4, 10 to 11 is class 5. So here the examination begins. From the class 3 examination begins for the kid. Okay, and here teaching should both activity based teaching. Okay, activity based means they take to the field. Okay, they show something in a practical manner. They have to teach up to 5th standard. Next, one more interesting thing is here the teaching should be in the mother tongue. Okay, up to 5th standard, every student should learn in the mother tongue, any mother tongue, and a regional language or home language. If, for example, if I am a Kannadiga, I must learn in Kannada only. Okay, that is the thing here, the new thing. Next, the third one is middle school stage. Duration is 3 years. It begins from class 6, 7 and 8. So 11 to 12 is class 6, 12 to 13 is class 7, 13 to 14 is class 8. Okay, how they teach the things here. What is the teaching methodology adopted in the middle school stage? Many changes we can see here. Okay, so any Indian language you can study here. Any Indian, up to 5th, regional language, home tongue, home language. Okay, after that any language you can choose, either Hindi, Tamil, Kannada, English, any one you can take. And one more interesting is computer coding is introduced. Computer coding is going to introduce in the middle school stage. Next, another thing, internship practical training will be provided. So what is internship and what is practical training? Students are, a group of students are sent to the field, okay, to do the project. That is called a practical training. Internship means a group of students will send to an organization to get the training. How in the real world the things are happening. For example, let's take you have chosen the commerce. Okay, your area is commerce. You will be sent to an organization where how the real things are happening you can observe. That is called internship. So that type of teaching is introduced under middle school stage. Okay. Next one, last stage, high school stage, where duration is 4 years, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, 9, 10, 11, 12 comes under high school stage. Age 14 to 15 is class 9, 15 to 16 class 10, 16 to 17 is class 11, 17 to 18 is class 12. So here many interesting things are there in the high school stage. Okay, here they have opened a window. They have opened one window. There you can take any foreign language as one subject. If you wish to learn French, you can learn in the high school itself. Okay, if you wish to learn Chinese, you can learn. That was not the case in the previous system. Okay, that we were taking in the degree level. But here it is introduced in the high school level itself. You can opt any foreign language. And the next one is, it is a semester based, not annual based. Every 6 months you will be having examination and 360-degree assessment report card. See, usually now you will get the marks card where only your board exam marks are reflecting. But in this marks, no, apart from board examination marks cards, your classroom activity marks also reflecting there. They will show that also. Okay, even in degree also, that will discuss a bit later. Next, no stream system. What it means? No stream system means, okay, so here, especially in the high school, now we are learning all the subjects. We are learning mathematics, social, science, English, like that. Okay, but in here, no stream means we have to select a particular stream in the high school level itself. In the high school level itself, you have to decide what you want to become. For example, you want to become an engineer. Engineer means you need to opt a science subject there itself. For example, mathematics. You are interested in mathematics means mathematics you need to select in 8th itself. Okay, but as per the old system, we are selecting in the degree. As per new system, in the 8th standard itself, we have to choose. If you want to go for commerce, choose commerce in the 8th itself. Okay, if you want to go for medical field, you need to choose a biology in the 8th standard itself. So based on that, they will train. Okay, no multiple stream here, any one stream you need to select in the 8th standard itself. That is the new change. And can take any subject of any stream, that I said. Any stream you can take, either maths or social, all these things. Next is 12th is the board exam. No 10th examination, 10th is a class examination. Okay, 12th is the board examination. But still it is, don't be happy, still it is not introduced, it is going to introduce. Next, very important part, I think this era you have crossed +2, correct? Okay, so this is most important for students like you. So in the higher educational institution, what is the methodology, what is the system we are following as per the new standard, new system. Okay, at higher education, the old method was 3+2, which is dropped now. 3+2, 3 years degree and 2 years PG, masters, which is dropped now. So in place of this, they have initiated the new system, that is 4+1. Okay, so here the people are having a lot of confusion whether degree is 4 year or 3 year, like sir said in the beginning. Many people, not only you guys, even parents are also having a lot of confusion. So let me clear that confusion. Maybe they says it's a 4+1, 4 years degree and 1 year PG. It's not like that. So here multiple entry and exit options are there. So what exactly it is, we will discuss a bit later. So 4+1 means up to 4 years you have to do the degree. Okay, 1 year PG, 4 years degree and 1 year PG. The 4th year degree when you have to do means when you want to pursue your PG. For example, in our college you have taken the admission for the BCom. Okay, next then first year over, second year over, third year over. 4th year if you want to continue here in the sense, when you have to continue, if your intention is pursuing PG, If you want to do MCom or MBA, then you have to do the fourth year degree. Otherwise, not required. Let's take you have decided I don't want to pursue my PG, so I am happy with my degree. Degree is enough for me. Let us go for some job. Then you can stop in the third year. No need to do the fourth year. Clear? So fourth year you need to do when you want to pursue your PG. Either the fourth year you can continue in the same institution, or you can join to the university. In the university you can join for the fourth year. Okay, if you have done the fourth year here in the university, you need to do only 1 year for PG. Okay, understood? So after fourth year, which degree will be provided? I will tell you. So here I said multiple entry and multiple exit options are there. So multi-exit system. So what is multi-exit system? Let's take you join for the first year. After writing the examination, now you don't wish to continue your education, maybe due to some personal problem or some other problem. Then you can exit from the program. You can exit. Okay, and here the certificate will be provided to you. Certificate and the one certificate kartivi, but the thing is you should complete all the subjects. 7 plus 7 in 2 semesters, 4 subjects will be there. All 4 subjects if you complete you will be given one certificate at the time of exit. If you don't want to continue means you can go home by taking that certificate. So that is eligible for the job. With that you can take the job. It doesn't mean that leave after first year. Don't do that. Don't do that mistake. Okay. So that's the one option given. Why it is included? Because plenty of students know they are leaving the education, they are dropping the education, but they will become jobless. Let's take they joined the first year degree and due to some reason in the second year they left. Okay, but they are not having any certificates, degree certificate. So they need to go with the PU certificate only for the job. That's why it is introduced. So PU certificate will be there, first year degree certificate will be there, second year degree certificate will be there. With that he can seek the job. So it's an advantage in the national education policy. That's why it is introduced. Okay. So next, you see that I have mentioned here. After first year, student will get a course certificate, 1 year course certificate. The thing is, you need to complete all your subjects. And second, after second year also you can quit, you can exit if you don't want to continue. Then you will be provided a diploma certificate. Okay, and after third year you can exit. You will be given a bachelor's. You are the degree holder. Once you complete all the 3 years, you will be given one certificate. So you will be called as degree holder. Okay. If you want to continue further education, then do the fourth year. Otherwise, don't want. Okay, clear? Next, on completion of fourth year, student will get the honor degree. Let's say you have done fourth year in the same institution or some other institution, you will be awarded the honor degree, BCom honor, PSC honor, okay, BBA honor, like that will be given. Okay, and then if you want to continue your education, higher education, join in some other universities or some other higher education institution or in the same institution for 1 year PG course. Okay. That is called multiple entry. Next, the multi exit we came to know. Next is multi entry. What is this multi entry meant for? Let's take Mr. X, one candidate X. He joined to the BSc course and did 2 years. After 2 years, due to some problem, he left the college. And after 4 years, again something came to his mind that so let us continue my education. Okay, then again he can enter. He can enter from the place where he left. But that was not the case in the old system. In the old system, in between, if you left, again from the beginning you need to learn, study. Let's take second year you left, 5 years gap or 6 years gaps. After 6 years, again if you want to continue means you need to begin from the first year. That was the case as per the old system. Okay, so that was the limitation. that limitation has overcome in the new education policy. Anytime you can entry here. Okay, and the marks whatever you have secured in the past, it will continue. Great, no? ಓಕೆ ಹಾಗಂತ ನೀವು ಬಿಡೋದು ಸೇರೋದು ಮಾಡಬೇಡಿ. ಯು ಪ್ಲೀಸ್ ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂ ಯುವರ್ ಎಜುಕೇಶನ್. ಸೊ ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ಈಚ್ ಎಕ್ಸಿಟ್ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ರೀಜಾಯಿನ್ ಟು ದ ಕೋರ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ಎ ಗ್ಯಾಪ್. ಓಕೆ, ಅಂಡ್ ಕ್ರೆಡಿಟ್ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಫರ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಅಕಾಡೆಮಿಕ್ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಕ್ರೆಡಿಟ್ ಇದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಐ ಥಿಂಕ್ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಟು ಅರ್ಲಿ ಫಾರ್ ಯು ಟು ನೋ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಓಪನಿಂಗ್ ಒನ್ ಅಕಾಡೆಮಿಕ್ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಕ್ರೆಡಿಟ್. ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಜಾಬ್ ಆಫ್ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್? They will deposit the things, everything, alwa. So here your academic record they will deposit in one bank. That bank we call as academic bank credit. Here the credits will be given for every subject. If you are clearing English subject, no, if you pass English subject, 3 credits will be given. If you clear the accounting subjects, 4 credit will be given. So all these credits we are adding. Okay, that we will keep in the academic bank record. Why it is kept? Because of multiple entry and exit system. Let's take you left, again you join. So we need your data. How much you have secured, how much credit you have secured in the past. Where to go? Okay, some institution will not give you the correct data. So everything will be online. It will be there in the online. Like sir said, you will be given one user ID. Okay, if you are using that user ID, till our last breath we can use that user ID. There we can log in and we can see our data, how much we secured, everything we can see. Okay, so that's the job of academic bank credit. There we are transferring all your credits. Okay, I think this is not an implement. Nimgeಲ್ಲ ಬೇಕಾಗಿಲ್ಲ ಇದು, not an implement, but they have mentioned in the national education policy. Best college. Okay. These are the aims of national education policy. They want to introduce the best college in the institution, the multidisciplinary college. Multidisciplinary in the sense, see if you go nowadays, in the currently we are having the colleges which provide one stream of subject. For example, if you go to medical college, they are providing only medical courses. Only doctors are output there. Engineer, they are not producing engineers, correct? If you go to engineering college, only engineers are producing that. If you go to commerce college, only commerce graduates, correct? So they have a plan to start up the institutions where all the stream of students can join. Okay, medical students, engineering students, commerce students in one campus. So that also they are planning. I don't know. Definitely they will introduce, but they have this plan. Okay, 360-degree assessment report card. This we'll discuss a bit later. Okay, all these things are not required for you. One more thing. Here, open elective system is there in the national education policy. Open elective system. It is newly introduced. So let's take. I have joined to BBA course, and I am interested in music also. I am very much interested in music. So I can take one of the music subject there. Okay. So one of the physics subjects I can take if I want. One of the chemistry subject I want, I can take. That is called an open elective. So totally 7 subjects will be there for you guys if you take any degree course. BCom, BBA, BSc, BCA, any degree course you take, 7 subjects will be there. Out of that 7 subjects, 1 is open, 2 is languages, 1 is regional language and English, Kannada and English, or Hindi regional language you can take, and English, and the third one is open elective of your choice, any subject you can take. Okay, then 3, the mainstream subject. Mainstream means if you have taken commerce related 3. If you have taken a BSc related main 3 subjects. Okay, and one more subjects will be given common for all. Skill development course anta. It is common for all the courses. Every course student are learning that. For example, environmental science. Environmental science BCom students also learning BBA, BSc, BCA, all degree students has to learn that. ಆಮೇಲೆ artificial intelligence AI that is also introduced now. It is for all BCom, BBA, BSc, everybody should learn. Okay, so these are the options are there. So that's what mentioned here. Program, I have taken only BCom and BBA. This is for all the degree course. If you take BSc, BCA, for everything same. First category is AECC. That is language 1, language 2, and category 2 is DCS, discipline core subject. Here mainstream subject you are learning. That's commerce subject. If you have taken BCom, BSc and then science. Next category 3, skill based or value based. I said skill based and value based. Okay, one subject you are learning. I gave the example of artificial intelligence, environmental science, digital fluency and all you are learning there. That's open elective. Last one. I just spoke. Any one open elective you have to take. Not for all the semesters. Only for 4 semesters. First sem, second sem, third sem, fourth sem, you are learning open elective. Okay, 5th sem, 6th sem onwards specialization. You are getting specialization, dual specialization you have to take in every course. Okay, that you will learn in 5th, 6th, 7th and 8th. Up to 4th, open elective will be there. As per your choice, you can select any subject. So this I said. Yeah, one more important thing, degree is not like your PUC. The system is completely different. In the PU, you are writing examination maybe for 90 marks, right? 90 or 100? 100 marks. But here no, the question paper you are not getting for 100 marks. You will get question paper for 60 marks. But listen, each subject carries 100 marks. Each subject carries 100 marks, but you are getting question paper for 60 marks. Then remaining 40 marks, how you will get? We will give. The subject lecturer will give. Okay? How we will give? For that also, the criteria is set. We have to follow that criteria. Blindly we cannot give. Okay, X is 39, Y is 38. Okay, another person is 25. Blindly we cannot give. The criteria is set. Based on that criteria, we are giving the marks. So right now itself I am telling the 40 marks. What we are giving to give, it is reflecting in your marks card. In your final marks card, it is reflecting and it is added to your overall percentage. Keep in mind, it is added to your overall percentage, not only the marks which you have secured in the university examination. Whatever we give, it is also added to your percentage. When you go to the government jobs, so they will come to know. Many people have missed the government job in 1 mark. Okay. So, how we are giving 40 marks? You want to know? This is the way we are giving 40 marks. You see here. Every subject total 100 marks. You take Kannada, English, accounts, any subject 100 marks. So continuous internal evaluation. Continuous internal evaluation means we have to evaluate you guys since from your entry to the completion of that semester. In the first semester, how you have performed in the class. From the first class to the last working day of our semester. How you have performed. Okay. So based on that, we will give the marks. So continuous and comprehensive evaluation is there, 20 marks. So in the continuous and comprehensive evaluation, how we are evaluating the students. For that, plenty of parameters are there. That parameter we will use. That also we will discuss. Which are the parameters we use to evaluate you guys and give 20 marks. Okay. Next, another 20 marks we are giving based on this internal assessment test and attendance. For the test, 15 marks and attendance 5 marks. Okay, so we will conduct 2 tests, not we. That is the direction of National Education Policy. So we have to follow that. We are following. Okay, in every institution they will follow this. 2 tests we have to conduct in a semester. Okay, so based on the secured marks, we are giving you the marks. For example, average marks of first and second. Let's take for 30-20 marks we conducted. Total 60 marks we conducted. Average marks we have secured 60%. So more than 60% means you get 15 marks. So in the first test and second test together, you should get 60%. If you are getting 60%, you will get 15 marks. Okay. So it's not like a class test. It is also like a university examination only, because that marks is reflecting in the marks card. If you are failing here, if you are failing in the first test and second test, you will get only 6 marks. For the fail gu 6 marks ಇದೆ, fail gu ಕೊಡ್ತೀವಿ 6 marks. ಏನಿಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾ ಅದು ಅಟೆಂಡ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದಾನೆ. For attendance it is given. For attendance 6 marks we will give. Okay, test attendance. So slab rates are there. We follow the slab rates. That slab rates are applied. Like that we will evaluate your test performance and marks is allotted. Okay. So wherever you go, from the day one you have to study. You have to take seriously the internal examination also. It is also like university exam, board exam only. Okay. That's why I said it's not like PU. In the PU internal we conduct, that marks are not reflected in the marks card. Correct? But here it is reflecting. Next is attendance. For attendance 5 marks. Regularly if you are attending, we will give 5 marks. Okay? How much? For that also slab is there. If you are attending more than 91%, you will get 5 marks. 85 to 90, 4 marks. 80 to 85, 3 marks. 75 to 80, 2 marks. Less than 75% if you are having attendance means 0 marks, plus will not be allowed to write university examination. Because everything is online, everything we are entering in the system. Okay, once we are entering 74%, how many classes I have taken, how much you have attended, automatically it will calculate the percentage. Let's take you have secured 73%. Okay, no hall ticket will be issued to you. University will not generate hall ticket to you. Okay, so attendance is also very important. Okay, so next is semester exam. For the 60 marks, you write the examination. Question paper and all we will discuss later when you are joining to our college. Okay, right? Now, about this, let me explain how this 20 marks will be given. These are the parameters which we use in the class to teach as well as to evaluate your performance. First one is individual assignment. Assignments will be given to you. You have to write and submit on time. Next is seminars, classroom presentation, quiz. Quiz also will conduct. Presentation you have to do in the class. Okay, not we are saying, it is given by government, but we are following here. Group discussion. Yesterday only we done group discussion. Excellently our students participated. They enjoyed like anything. I have given 4 topics for them. Okay, one is social media, another is joint family, another is mobile banking, like that. They enjoyed like anything. Okay, a group of members, they have to sit 6 members. Okay, by their own they need to speak on that topic. Then the communication skill will develop and ideas will develop. Okay, so these are the things we conduct there. Next case study, we will give one case. You have to evaluate, prepare the report and present in the class. Next, participatory and industry integrated learnings, field visit. A group of students will send to the field and make a survey, prepare the report and submit. Let's take, I have given you one project. Go to DMart and find out the satisfaction of the customer, whether they are satisfied or not with the service of DMart. Okay, you need to observe, collect the data, prepare a report and submit. Not in our college, everywhere it will be there. That's called field visit. Then practical activities, problem solving exercise we will do in the class. Then participation in seminar, academic events and symposia means you have to participate in some other seminars which is conducted by some other college. Next, mini projects, capstone projects and any other academic activities. So these are the activities we supposed to conduct for your 20 marks. Okay. Among these, every subject lecturer has to choose any 4 according to his interest. ಯಾವ್ದಾದ್ರು 4 ಸೆಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡು ಅದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಅವರು ಕಾನ್ಸಂಟ್ರೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಅದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಟೀಚ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಓಕೆ, ಫಾರ್ ದ ಈಚ್ ಕ್ಯಾಟಗರಿ 5 marks. Any 4 in every subject you need to do. For each parameter 5 marks. So like this, the 40 marks will be given to the student, which is going to reflect in your marks card. Okay. So if you have any queries on NEP, you can ask me. Now, yes.
This is for semester. Semester. One semester.
ಇದು one semester ಗೆ ಆಮೇಲೆ ಅದೇ every semester every subject. ಭಯ ಬಿಡಬೇಡಿ.
6 months. One semester 6 months.
ಆಮೇಲೆ time is very short here. Time will be very limited. From the day 1 you have to study. Not like PU. In the PU or in the +1, +2 in the school and all, 12 months you will get. Maximum time will become active at the end of February or January. I'll start ಮಾಡ್ಕೋತೀವಿ. They will become active. But here not like that. From the day 1 you have to study. ಅದೇ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ ಏನಕ್ಕೆ ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ. Next is my topic, career guidance. Okay. 6 months ಗೆ ಒಂದ್ಸತಿ exam. Means all 6 months you will not get. Maximum 4 months you will get. The university will give 50 hours time to teach one subject. In 50 hours it is not possible due to holidays, Sundays and all. Maybe you will get 40 to 45 hours. In 40 to 45 hours you have to study the subject. Okay? So you need to start studying from the day 1. Any queries on NEP? Shall we go to next? Okay. Yes. Like sir said, now you are at the stage where you are moving out from one environment and signing into another environment. When you are entering into a new environment, lot of confusions will come in our mind. After PU, what next? After PU, which college to select, how to select, which course to select, lot of confusions. Okay, for that confusions, I am the solution here. Okay, so whether to take sports, whether to take commerce, science, or BCA or BBA, many confusions. Okay, so how to overcome this confusion and select the best stream which will suit our personality? How to select that? I came up with some tips here, ideas. So how to select a course first, then I will speak about college selection. So how to select course? First one is based on our interest. So where I am having more interest, that if you pick now, definitely you will get success. For example, I am good at accounts, better to choose the accounting field. If I am good at English, better to choose the literature field. If I am good at mathematics, better to go for mathematics field. So that is the first point I am suggesting to my students. Go with your interest. Okay, identify your interest, where you are strong. where you are strong, you need to identify first. Okay. For that you set certain criteria, parameter. Based on that you set identify where I am strong. Next, second one, based on your competency, means how you can compete, with others, whether I can compete to my competitor or not. Okay, so based on your competency you need to select whether if I have chosen the accounting field, will I become the accounting professional. Okay, how much accounting professional companies are there where I can place myself at the end of the course, whether I'll get success or not. Based on that you need to select. Okay, let's take I have an interest in accounting, but I don't want to become chartered accountant. I want to become something else. I want to become a bank manager. Then select a banking related. In the commerce only, select the banking related. Okay, so you need to set your aim first. Before choosing the course, you need to set the aim. What I want to become in the life. Okay, which profession I want to enter? Lecturer. Okay, no, no. It is the best profession according to me. Okay, leave it. So, first decide what. First is our area of interest. Then what I want to become in the life. Set. ನನ್ನ ಲೈಫಲ್ಲಿ ಚಾರ್ಟೆಡ್ ಅಕೌಂಟೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ, ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು BCA ಸೇರ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಡು. ರಾಂಗ್ ಡಿಸಿಷನ್. ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್? So two things you have to set. One is area of interest. Next one is competency. What I want to become. Next, very important thing where we commit a lot of mistakes. According to me, to select a course, you should have a discussion, deep discussion with the eminent person, with the knowledgeable people. Don't discuss with your friends who are having least knowledge about the course. Discuss with the person who are having the strong knowledge about the subject. Okay, go to your teachers. They are your well-wishers. Go to your teachers, approach your principal, or your maybe parents, or your seniors, those who are doing that course. Let's say you want to do BCA. Okay, identify the BCA candidate who are already pursuing BCA. Discuss with them how this course is, whether it will give benefit to me or not. Okay, these are the parameters we need to set to select the course. Okay, so my opinion is you discuss with your well-wishers. Your well-wisher is none other than your teachers, more than your parents. Okay, the teachers are your well-wishers. Always they will give you the correct suggestion. So approach your teachers, discuss with them, have a deep discussion. Discuss and choose the course. You tell them, I am having interest in this, more interest in this, I want to become this, I want to go for chartered accountant field. First you share your opinion, then have a discussion, they will suggest you about the course as well as the college. Okay. And the last one is based on the market requirement. Based on market requirement, the what market needs, what type of people, what type of employee the market is required. Okay, so these are the few tips I identified, few points I identified. I think you can use this in the course selection. Next question. First question, I think it is clear how to identify the course. Next, the very most important thing, after identifying the course, if you fail here, you will fail in the life. Let's take you identify, I want to go for BCA because I am having more interest in that. Okay, even market is also demanding more software engineers. Okay, lot of employment opportunities are there. Yes, your decision is correct. Perfectly you have decided. Okay, if you fail here, you cannot get success in your earlier decision. You will fail there. Okay, so along with that, along with your first decision, This decision also plays a prominent role. Selection of college. Okay, so there you made a decision. If you make a wrong here, life will spoil. So for this also I identified a few suggestions how to select a college. First point, check the academic performance of that college. Where you want to join, where you willing to join. First and foremost thing is you need to check the academic performance. Academic performance is the output of the college, the result, teaching, okay, teaching faculty, the quality of teachers. That you need to check, that you need to identify. The first thing. Next, check the quality of principal staff. How the staff are, the qualified staff are not there. Whether they are having a good relation with the university or not. Whether the book published staffs are there or not. Quality, qualified teachers. Okay, that you need to check. Then check the library. I don't think so. Nobody will do this. When we are going for the admission, nobody will go to the library and see the condition of library. We don't want to sit in the library. Correct? As a student, the maximum time we have to spend in the library to gain the knowledge. Nobody will bother about the library facilities. Nobody will check the library. Nobody will speak to the lecturers of that college. Nobody bother about the result of that college. Nobody bother about the placement provided by that college. Nobody bother about the curriculum and extracurricular activities provided by the college. We don't want all these things. We will never check all these things. Correct? So this is the thing we need to identify at the time of seeking the admission. Next, see the sports and culture of that college. Cultural activities offered. Next, placement services provided by the institution. And check 360-degree activities of the college, not only academic. Apart from academic, what extra things they are providing? You see, I will tell you one thing. If you are good enough in the academic, definitely you cannot survive. You will not become a professional in the society. To become a professional in the society, apart from the good academic record, the extra knowledge is required. I can give you plenty of examples. Let's take the best example. Now the digital world, digital era, everything is digitalized. Okay, digital purchase, digital sale. Okay, at night 12 o'clock, we can order a shirt. That is the era. We are in such era. So every profession has the digital life. If you are, for example, you have entered into the accounting field. Accounting is not a manual accounting now. You have to do in a digital accounting, digital form. Cloud accounting is that, online. So you should have the extra knowledge. Here what we do in the colleges, they will provide only the manual teaching. How to prepare accounts manually, how to do accounts digitally. It is required for the profession. If you say at the end of the course to your employer, I know only manual accounting, I don't know digital accounting, I don't have the soft skill knowledge, okay, you will be out of the campus. They will not even pick you in the first stage. In the first stage itself, you will be eliminated. So extra knowledge is required. Apart from academic, you need extra knowledge. Okay? So identify that. So which are the colleges are providing the extra things, add-on courses like Tally, okay, advanced Excel is must, especially for commerce and management student. Okay, advanced Excel, soft skills, communication skill. So which colleges are providing all these things? You need to check at the time of admission. Okay. Next, one more thing. Select a college nearer to you. Don't go far away from your place, far away from your residence. There is a lot of time consuming. You will waste the time. For example, you are staying in Anekal, you need to go to Bangalore. Okay, minimum 6 hours is needed at present scenario because of this traffic condition. Think that also. Okay, select a college which is very nearer to you. So these are the points I identified for selection of college. Don't follow. what you have to avoid in selection? Freedom. That's what we want. We choose the college where lot of freedom will be provided. We should not, the institution should not bother about the student's development. Such colleges we want. Correct? Then at the end of the day, who will be the loser? You will be the loser. Think that. So don't follow this freedom and don't go with the infrastructure. Okay? Outer frame you don't see. How the college building is. Already sir said about this. Okay? You see the inner quality of the institution, not the outer quality, outer layer. We don't want outer layer. Inner layer we need to check. Next, friends influence. Please don't go with the friends influence. I said how to choose the course. The best well-wishers are your teachers. Have a discussion with the teachers and have a discussion with the people who are having the more knowledge. Next, and one more thing, far away from your place. Don't select a college which is far away from your place. You need to spend a daily 5 to 6 hours for traveling. Next, one more thing, where my friend went, you are also going there. Correct? Yes, don't do that. Everyone else are going. Everybody are going, I am also going. ಕುರಿಗಳು ಹೋಗ್ತಲ್ಲ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕುರಿ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ನಾನು ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ ನಾನು ಬಿದ್ದೋಗ್ಬಿಡ್ತೀನಿ ಡೋಂಟ್ ಡೂ ದಟ್ ಆಮೇಲೆ ಡೋಂಟ್ ಸಿ ಕ್ಯಾಂಟೀನ್ ಇಸ್ ಗುಡ್ ಕ್ಯಾಂಟೀನ್ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಜನ ಕ್ಯಾಂಟೀನ್ ನೋಡ್ತಾರೆ ಆಮೇಲೆ ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಮೊಬೈಲ್ಸ್ ದಟ್ಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ದ ಯೂತ್ ವಾಂಟ್ ಮೊಬೈಲ್ I don't know what is the use of mobile. No use at all. Okay. So, just a minute. Are you enjoying? Yes. Okay. So, where mobiles are not prohibited. Mobiles are not prohibited. Such colleges we want. ಓಕೆ ಮೊಬೈಲ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಮಾತಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ 1 ಅವರ್ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತೀನಿ ನಾನು ಈಗ ಟೈಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲ ಅದು ಲೀವ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಗ ನಾನು ಕಾಲೇಜ್ ಬನ್ನಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಡ್ತೀನಿ ಮೊಬೈಲಿಂದ ಎಷ್ಟು ಡೋಂಟ್ ಗೋ ವಿತ್ ದಿಸ್ ಟು ಸೆಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಅ ಕಾಲೇಜ್ ಯು ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಗೋ ವಿತ್ ದಿಸ್ ಅಟ್ ದ ಎಂಡ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಡೇ ಡೆಫಿನೆಟ್ಲಿ ಯು ವಿಲ್ ಗೆಟ್ ಸಕ್ಸಸ್ and you will be placed in one of the reputed profession. Why college? College bandidina. So I am going in order. First I said how to choose the course. Next, how to choose the college. After entering into college, why college? Why you are coming to college? That is important. To enjoy attendance. No. Listen. The main aim, the main purpose of coming to college is to construct a profession, to construct our life, to become something in the life. You know, we are coming to the college, maybe to become chartered accountant or a doctor or an engineer or a lecturer or any profession, to become something in the life. Okay, to construct our profession, we are coming to college. That is our main aim that you should have in your mind when you are entering into the college on the first day. Okay, next, how to construct these professions. You are coming to college. Next, how to construct a profession, how to become a profession. Let's say you enter to the college to become some profession. Then how to become? It's not easy. It's a very difficult task. You need to execute a lot of things. Just coming at 9 o'clock, going at 3 o'clock with bag, full dress and all will not make you a good profession. In that time, 9 to 3, in that time, the lot of hard work, a lot of work you need to execute. Okay. So what you need to do as a student to construct your profession. First one is good subject knowledge. You should have a good subject knowledge. Okay. To become a profession, you should have a good subject knowledge. How to get the knowledge? How to get knowledge? Just coming and sitting in the class, sleeping and going. Will you get the knowledge? No. Many things you have to do. You should focus on the teaching. You should come up with lot of doubts. You have to clear the doubts with the lecturer. Search the extra things. Okay, go to the library, search the extra things. All these things. Next up, I can give you the example. If you don't have the knowledge, nobody will offer you the job. Let's take I came here to give the interview for the lecturer post, for the accounting lecturer post. Okay, and they took me to one class to give the demo. If I am unable to teach the meaning of prepaid expenses and how to treat the prepaid expenses, will they take me? Never. They will not take me. Correct? So I should have the knowledge to get into the profession. Correct? So gain the knowledge as much as possible in various ways from the various sources. Next, good communication skill. That is must in the current scenario. Okay? Good communication skill is also needed. Next, good computer skills, computer knowledge, that already we have discussed. Next, thinking ability, logical thinking, soft skills, reading skills, physical activities also required. Okay, yoga and all. These are the things we need to become a profession. Okay. Next up, ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಯಾವ ಕಾಲೇಜಲ್ಲಿ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂತ ಕಾಲೇಜ್ನ ಚೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಒನ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ at the end I can tell you one thing. I am in this college from last 16 years. Okay, I gained lot of things from this institution. It is not a easy thing to say staying in one place for 16 years. Why I am staying? Because here some good things are there. Some good things are there which is satisfying me. Okay. So, according to me, from past 16 years, according to me, what I can say is, I have visited many colleges, many reputed colleges as a guest lecturer, as a speaker. Many colleges I have went, but I have not seen the college like this. Because I know what this college is providing to the students and what this college, how this college is taking care for the development of the students, especially for the rural community students. See, it is very, very difficult to compete the rural community students with the city students. But to match such students, the principal, entire our staff, okay, working hard. We are working too much hard to meet that competency. Our student at the end of our principal always says, okay, end of the day, no, non student yaru jobless irbaardu. 100 jana join agidare andre 100 janakku ಕೆಲಸ ಸಿಗಬೇಕು. That is our motto. With that motto we are working. Okay, we are providing excellent service to our students. I think it is hidden. People are not observing that. It is hidden. We are providing excellent service. Okay, you can verify with your seniors or with other friends what are the things we do for institution development, student development, especially for the students development. Okay, so think over this. So whatever I said this, whatever the students are required for your development, I think my experiences, we are providing more than that. Okay. So with this, I will conclude my presentation. If you have any queries on this, you can ask.
ನನ್ನ ಪ್ರೀತಿಯ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳ ಯುವ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳ ಗೊಂದಲಗಳಿಗೆ ಉತ್ತರವಾಗಿ ಸುದೀರ್ಘ ಕಾಲ ನೂತನ ಶಿಕ್ಷಣ ನೀತಿಯ ಕಾರ್ಯಾಗಾರವನ್ನು ನಡೆಸಿಕೊಟ್ಟಂತಹ ಅಸಿಸ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಪ್ರೊಫೆಸರ್ ಪರ್ವಿಜುಲ್ಲಾ ಸರ್ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಹೃತ್ಪೂರ್ವಕ ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು. ಈಗ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳನ್ನ ಕುರಿತು ಒಂದೆರಡು ಹಿತನುಡಿಗಳನ್ನ ಹೇಳಲು ವೇದಿಕೆಗೆ ಬರುತ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಕಿರಣ್ ಕುಮಾರ್ ಸರ್ ಅವರು.
Good afternoon, dear students. Probably you are all well prepared for your exams, I suppose. ಇನ್ನೂ ಪ್ರಿಪರೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು ಸರ್ ಅನ್ನೋರು ಎಷ್ಟು ಜನ ಇದ್ದೀರಿ? Okay. It is all right. We still have time. Exam ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಪ್ರಿಪೇರ್ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು. ಆದ್ರೆ ಸಪ್ಲಿಮೆಂಟರಿ ಬರೀಬೇಕು ಅನ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋರೆಲ್ಲ ಇನ್ನೂ ಬರೀತಾನೆ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. 10 ವರ್ಷ 12 ವರ್ಷದಿಂದ ಬರೀತಾನೆ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಬೆಸ್ಟ್ ಟೈಮ್. ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಅವಕಾಶ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಸಿಗಲ್ಲ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅನ್ಕೊಂಡು ಇದೇ ಕೊನೆ. ನನ್ನ ಲೈಫಲ್ಲಿ ಬಹಳ ದೊಡ್ಡ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್. ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಅ ಟರ್ನಿಂಗ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಇನ್ ಯುವರ್ ಲೈಫ್. ಟೇಕ್ ಇಟ್ ಸೀರಿಯಸ್ಲಿ. ಯಾರಿಗೋಸ್ಕರನೂ ಅಲ್ಲ. ಇಷ್ಟೊತ್ತು ಟೀಚರ್ಸ್ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಪೇರೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾನೆ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ. ಇವ್ರು ಯಾರಿಗೋಸ್ಕರನೂ ಅಲ್ಲ, ನಿಮಗಾಗಿ ಪ್ರಿಪೇರ್ ವೆಲ್. ಇಫ್ ಯು ವಾಂಟ್ ಎ ಗುಡ್ ಲೈಫ್, ಇಫ್ ಯು ವಾಂಟ್ ಟು ಬಿ ಹ್ಯಾಪಿ ಇನ್ ಯುವರ್ ಲೈಫ್, ಇಫ್ ಯು ವಾಂಟ್ ಟು ಬಿ ಸಕ್ಸಸ್ಫುಲ್, ಟುಡೇ ಈಸ್ ಯುವರ್ ಡೇ. ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಡಿಸೈಡ್. ನಾನು ಎಷ್ಟು ಎಫರ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಹಾಕ್ತೀನೋ ಅಷ್ಟು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಾ ಆರ್ಡಿನರಿ ರಿಸಲ್ಟ್ಸ್ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಕೈಲಿರುತ್ತೆ. So before I speak for the day, it is my utmost duty to wish you all ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಅವಕಾಶ ಸಿಗ್ಬೋದು ನನಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ, ಆದರೂ ಸಿಗುತ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ವೋ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಡ್ತೀನಿ. ವಿಶ್ ಯು ಆಲ್ ದ ವೆರಿ ಬೆಸ್ಟ್ ಫಾರ್ ಯುವರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ಸ್. ಬಹಳ ಮುಖ್ಯ ಅದೇನೇ. ಹಾಗೇನೆ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಸೀಸನ್ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾಗೇನೆ ಬಾಡಿ ಇಮ್ಯುನಿಟಿ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆಗ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ. ಬೇರೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಎನರ್ಜೆಟಿಕ್ ಆಗಿರ್ತೀವಿ. ಯೂಶಲಿ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಪೇರೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಸೀಟ್ ಕೇಳಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋದಾಗ ಹೇಳುವಂಥ ಕಂಪ್ಲೇಂಟ್, ತುಂಬ ಬುದ್ಧಿವಂತರು, ಎಕ್ಸಾಮಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಯ್ತು ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ, ಜ್ವರ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಡ್ತು, ಆರೋಗ್ಯ ಸರಿ ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಈಕ್ವಲಿ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಯುವರ್ ಹೆಲ್ತ್. ಆರೋಗ್ಯ ತುಂಬ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ನೋಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಕಾಲೇಜ್ ಸುತ್ತಲೂ ರೋಡ್ ಉದ್ದಕ್ಕೂ ಆನೇಕಲ್ ಫುಡ್ ಕೋರ್ಟ್ ತುಂಬ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದೆ. ಭಾಳಷ್ಟು ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳು ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಇರ್ತೀವಿ. ಸಂಜೆ ಮನೆಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತೀವಿ. ಪಾನಿಪುರಿ ಅಂಗಡಿ ಹಿಂಭಾಗ, ಕಾಂಪೌಂಡ್ಗಳ ಹಿಂಭಾಗ ಇರಲಿ, ಅವೆಲ್ಲ ಕೆಟ್ಟದ್ದು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಲ್ಲ. ಆದರೆ ಯು ಶುಡ್ ಬಿ ಕೇರ್ಫುಲ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ವೇರ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಕನ್ಸ್ಯೂಮ್ ಯುವರ್ ಫುಡ್. ಹೈಜಿನಿಕ್ ಆಗಿದೆಯಾ? ಅನೇಕಲ್ ರಸ್ತೆ ಧೂಳು ಎಷ್ಟು ಸೇರ್ಕೊಂಡಿದೆ? ಹೌ ಮಚ್ ಇಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಆಡೆಡ್ ಟು ಯುವರ್ ಟೇಸ್ಟ್? ಐ ಡೋಂಟ್ ನೋ. ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ದಿನ ಪೋಸ್ಟ್ಪೋನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಒಳ್ಳೇದನು. ಸೊ ಯುವರ್ ಹೆಲ್ತ್ ವಿಲ್ ಡಿಟರ್ಮೈನ್ a certain percentage of your results as well. Important. ಇನ್ನು ಕರಿಯರ್ಸ್ಗೆ ಸಂಬಂಧಪಟ್ಟಂತೆ ಐ ಥಿಂಕ್ NEP ನಿಮಗೆ ಮುಂದಿನ ಫ್ಯೂಚರ್ ಒಂದು ಪಿಕ್ಚರ್ ಸಿಕ್ಕಿದೆ. ಯು ವಾಂಟ್ ಇಟ್ ಆರ್ ನಾಟ್, ಎಜುಕೇಶನ್, ದ ಸಿನಾರಿಯೋ ಆಫ್ ಎಜುಕೇಶನ್ ಇಸ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಬಿ ಡಿಫರೆಂಟ್. ದ ಗ್ಲೋಬಲ್ ಎಜುಕೇಶನ್, ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಕಾಂಪೀಟ್ ವಿತ್ ದ ವರ್ಲ್ಡ್, ನಾಟ್ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಬೆಂಗಳೂರು, ಚಂದಾಪುರ, ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಇಷ್ಟೇ ಅಲ್ಲ, ತುಂಬ ಕಾಂಪಿಟೇಷನ್ ಇದೆ. ಸೊ ಆ ಕಾಂಪಿಟೇಷನ್ ನಿಮಗೆ ಬೇಕೋ ಬೇಡವೋ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಬರುತ್ತದೆ. ಸೊ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನೀವೆಷ್ಟು ಕಾನ್ಫಿಡೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಪ್ರಿಪೇರ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಿ, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಡಿಟರ್ಮೈನ್ ವೇರ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್. ಇನ್ನು ಇತ್ತೀಚೆಗೆ ಸುಮಾರು ನೀವು ಯೂಟ್ಯೂಬ್ಗಳಲ್ಲೋ, ನ್ಯೂಸ್ಗಳಲ್ಲೋ, ನ್ಯೂಸ್ ಪೇಪರ್ಗಳಲ್ಲೋ ಓದ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತೀರಿ, ಲೇ ಆಫ್ಸ್, ಎಂಪ್ಲಾಯಿ ಎನ್ಕರೇಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಏನೋ ಸುಮಾರು ಕೆಲಸಗಳಿಂದ ತೆಗೆದಾಗ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು ಎಲ್ಲ ಇದೆ. ಆದರೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಸೈಡ್ ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡಿ, ಯಂಗ್ಸ್ಟರ್ಸ್ಗೆ ತುಂಬಾ ಅವಕಾಶಗಳು ಓಪನ್ ಅಪ್ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆ. ಸೀನಿಯರ್ ಲೆವೆಲ್ ಮಾತ್ರ ಹೋಗ್ತಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು. ದ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಲೆವೆಲ್, ದ ಬಿಗಿನರ್ಸ್ ತುಂಬಾ ಜನ ರಿಕ್ರೂಟ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಗವರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸುಮಾರು ನಮ್ಮ ದೇಶದ ತೆಗೆದುಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ, ಸ್ಟಾಟಿಸ್ಟಿಕ್ಸ್ ತೆಗೆದುಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಪ್ರತಿ ವರ್ಷ ಸುಮಾರು 2 ಕೋಟಿ ವೇಕೆನ್ಸೀಸ್ ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಡಿಪಾರ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಓಪನ್ ಅಪ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಇಫ್ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ದ ಕ್ವಾಲಿಟಿ, ಇಫ್ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ದ ಸ್ಕಿಲ್ಸ್, ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಬಿ ದೇರ್. ಅದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಹೆಚ್ಚಾಗಿ ಬೇಕಾಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು ಆಂಟರ್ಪ್ರಿನರ್ಸ್. ನಿಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಆಂಟರ್ಪ್ರಿನರ್ ಸ್ಕಿಲ್ಸ್, ನಾನು ಒಂದು ಕಂಪನಿ ನಡೆಸೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಸ್ಕಿಲ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ಡೆವಲಪ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು, ನನ್ನದೇ ಆದಂತಹ ಸ್ವಂತವಾದಂತಹ ಒಂದು ಉದ್ಯೋಗವನ್ನ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡು ಇನ್ನು 10 ಜನಕ್ಕೆ ನಾನು ಉದ್ಯೋಗಗಳನ್ನು ಕೊಡಬೇಕು. ಆ ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಬೆಳೆಯೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ಆ ರೀತಿಯಾದಂತಹ ಸ್ಕಿಲ್ಸ್ ನಿಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಬರಬೇಕು, ಆ ರೀತಿಯಾದಂತಹ ಎಬಿಲಿಟೀಸ್ ನಿಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಬರಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಸೂಕ್ತವಾಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂತಹ ಎಜುಕೇಶನ್ ಕೋರ್ಸಸ್ ಇರಬೇಕಾದಂತಹ ಜಾಗ, ಇರಬೇಕಾದಂತಹ ಫೋಕಸ್, ಇವೆಲ್ಲವೂ ಬಹಳ ಮುಖ್ಯ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮುಂದಿನ ಆಯ್ಕೆಗಳು ಡೆಫಿನೆಟ್ಲಿ, ವೆದರ್ you are with it or you are not, it is going to determine what you are going to be 5 years down the line or probably 6-7 years down the line. ಡಿಗ್ರಿ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಕೆಲಸಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗ್ತೀರಾ, ಮಾಸ್ಟರ್ ಡಿಗ್ರಿ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋತೀರಾ, PhD ಮಾಡ್ಕೋತೀರಾ, it is left to you, but it is going to determine your quality of life. ಸೊ ಆ ಕ್ವಾಲಿಟಿ ತುಂಬಾ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿರಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ನಾವು ಬಯಸ್ತೀವಿ. ಸೊ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಆಯ್ಕೆಗಳು, there are wonderful opportunities now. Education sector, lot of investments are coming, lot of developments are happening. ನೋಡಿ, ಫ್ಯಾಕಲ್ಟಿಗಳ ಜೊತೆ ಮಾತಾಡಿ. ನಿಮಗೆ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ ಕಾಲೇಜು ಇಷ್ಟೊಂದು ಗೈಡೆನ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ನಿಮಗೆ ಕೊಡೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಓಪನ್ ಅಪ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ವಿವೇಕಾನಂದ ಕಾಲೇಜ್ಗೆ ಸೇರ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ ಅಂತ ಪ್ರಚಾರ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಅಲ್ಲ. ನಿಮಗೆ ವಿಚಾರ ಗೊತ್ತಿರಲಿ, ನಾಳೆ ತಪ್ಪು ಆಯ್ಕೆಗಳನ್ನ ಮಾಡಿ 1 ವರ್ಷ ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ, 1 ಸೆಮಿಸ್ಟರ್ ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಹುಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ವಾಪಸ್ ಬರೋ ಸ್ಥಿತಿ ಬರಬಾರ್ದು ಅನ್ನೋದಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತೀನಿ. ಸೊ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಅ ವೆರಿ ಕಂಫರ್ಟಬಲ್ ಝೋನ್ ಹಿಯರ್. ಇಲ್ಲಿನ ಇಥೋಸ್, ಇಲ್ಲಿನ ಕಲ್ಚರ್ ನಿಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ. ಬೆಳೆಯೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಅವಕಾಶಗಳು ಎಷ್ಟಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ. ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ ನೆನ್ನೆ ಒಂದು ಪೋಸ್ಟರ್ ನೋಡ್ತಿದೆ, ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಲೆವೆಲ್ ಖೋಖೋ, ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ, ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಲೆವೆಲ್ ಖೋಖೋ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಮ 2 ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳು PU ಇಂದ ಓದ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬಂದಂತಹ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳು ಆಯ್ಕೆಯಾಗಿ ಅನಿಲ್ ಸಿಂಗ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಸಂತೋಷ್, 2 ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳು. ವೆರಿ ಪ್ರೌಡ್ ಮೂಮೆಂಟ್ ಫಾರ್ ಅಸ್. ಯಾವುದಾದ್ರೂ ಕಾಲೇಜ್ ಗಿನ್ನೆಸ್ ದಾಖಲೆಗಳಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದಾದ್ರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಕಾಲೇಜ್ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಳುತ್ತೆ. 2 ಗಿನ್ನೆಸ್ ದಾಖಲೆಗಳು. ಯಾರಾದ್ರೂ ಹೆಣ್ಮಕ್ಳು ಸ್ಪೋರ್ಟ್ಸ್ ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಲೆವೆಲ್ ವರ್ಗೂ ಹೋಗಿದಾರ? ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಸೋ ಮಚ್ ಆಫ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಾ ಕರಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಆಕ್ಟಿವಿಟೀಸ್, ಕಲ್ಚರಲ್ ಆಕ್ಟಿವಿಟೀಸ್. ಬೇರೆ ಕಡೆ ಹೋದ್ರೆ ಕನಿಷ್ಠ ಪಕ್ಷ ಒಂದು 4-5 ಟ್ರೋಫಿಗಳಂತ ಎತ್ಕೊಂಡ್ ಬರ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಅವಕಾಶಗಳಿದೆ, ವೇದಿಕೆಗಳಿದೆ, ಅಪರ್ಚುನಿಟೀಸ್ ಇದೆ. ಇನ್ನು ಓದಿನಲ್ಲಿ ನನ್ನ ರಿಸಲ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ. ನನ್ನ ಪಾಂಫ್ಲೆಟ್ ಒಂದು ಓದ್ತಿದ್ದೆ, ಡಿಗ್ರಿ ಕಾಲೇಜ್ ಒಂದು ಡಿಸೈನ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ರು. ಆವರೇಜ್ ತೆಗೆದುಕೊಂಡ್ರು 95% ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಆವರೇಜ್ ತೆಗೆದುಕೊಂಡ್ರು ಆವರೇಜ್ ರಿಸಲ್ಟ್ 95% ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಆಲ್ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಎವ್ರಿಬಡಿ ಈಸ್ ಎಕ್ಸೆಲಿಂಗ್. ಸೊ ಅಷ್ಟೊಂದು ಅವಕಾಶಗಳು ಇರುವಾಗ ಎಲ್ಲೋ ಹೋಗಿ ಹುಡುಕಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಒದ್ದಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು 3 ವರ್ಷ ಡಿಗ್ರಿ ತೆಗೆದುಕೊಳ್ಳೋದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಆರಾಮಾಗಿ ಡಿಗ್ರಿ ತೆಗೆದುಕೊಳ್ಳಬಹುದು. ಇನ್ನೂ ಹೆಚ್ಚಿನ ವಿಚಾರಗಳನ್ನು ತಿಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಅವಕಾಶ ಇದೆ. ಸೊ ಲೆಟ್ ವಿವೇಕಾನಂದ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಬಿ ಯುವರ್ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಪ್ರಿಫರೆನ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ನಾವು ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ವಾರ್ಥನೂ ಇದೆ. ಸ್ವಾರ್ಥ ಏನು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, ನಮ್ಮ ಮಕ್ಕಳು ಬೇರೆ ಕಡೆ ಯಾಕೆ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ. LKG ಸೇರ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರಿ, PUC ವರ್ಗೂ ಓದಿದ್ರಿ, ಈಗ ಇನ್ನೊಬ್ಬರಿಗೆ ಯಾಕೆ ಕೊಡ್ಬೇಕು? ನಾವು ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲೇ ಇರಿ ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಆ ರೀತಿ ಬಯಸ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು ತಪ್ಪಲ್ಲ. ಆದ್ರೆ ಪಾಸ್ ಆಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿರಿ, ಫೇಲ್ ಆಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ವಾಪಸ್ ಬರ್ತೀವಿ ಸರ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಡು. ಓಕೆ, ಪಾಸ್ ಆಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಇದೇ ಕಾಲೇಜಲ್ಲಿ ಓದಿ, ಇಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಮುಂದಕ್ಕೆ ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಿ ನೀವು 3 ವರ್ಷ ಮುಗಿಸೋ ಅಷ್ಟರಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಸ್ಟರ್ ಡಿಗ್ರಿ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ಸ್ ಪ್ರಾರಂಭ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಯಾರಾದ್ರೂ ಮಾಸ್ಟರ್ ಡಿಗ್ರಿ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಯು ವಿಲ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ದಟ್ ಆಪರ್ಚುನಿಟಿ ಆಸ್ ವೆಲ್. ಮುಗಿಸ್ಕೋಬಹುದು. ಆಮೇಲೆ ನೇರವಾಗಿ ಕೆಲಸಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗ್ತೀರಿ. ಯು ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಸಿಟಿಸನ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿಸ್ ನೇಷನ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ವಿವೇಕಾನಂದ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಷನ್ಸ್. ಆ ಒಂದು ಖುಷಿ ನಮಗೆ ಸಿಗಲಿ, ಪೂರ್ಣವಾಗಿ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಸಿಗಲಿ. ಸೊ ಲೆಟ್ ದಟ್ ಬಿ ಯುವರ್ ಪ್ರಿಫರೆನ್ಸ್. ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ವಿಚಾರ ಏನು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುವ ಸೀಟ್ಸ್ ಸುಮಾರು 300. ಸೊ ನಿಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಬಹಳಷ್ಟು ಕಾಂಪಿಟೇಷನ್ ಇದೆ. 300 ಜನ ಇಲ್ಲೇ ಇದ್ದೀರಿ. ಸೊ 300 ಜನ ಸೀಟ್ ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಯಾರು ಒಳಗೆ ಬರದೇ ಇರೋಂಗೆ ನೀವೇ ಸೀಟ್ ತೆಗೆದುಕೋಬೇಕು. ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಅಗೇನ್ ಅ ರೇಸ್. ಹೌ ವೆಲ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಸ್ಕೋರ್ ಇನ್ ಯುವರ್ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ PUC. ಸೊ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ಸ್ ಓದಿ ಬರೆದು ಪಾಸ್ ಆಗಿ ಒಳ್ಳೆ ರಿಸಲ್ಟ್ ತೆಗೆದುಕೊಂಡು ಕಮ್ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್. ವಿ ವಾಂಟ್ ಟು ಸಿ ಈಚ್ ಒನ್ ಆಫ್ ಯು ಇನ್ ಅವರ್ ಓನ್ ಕಾಲೇಜ್. ಸೊ ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು ವೆರಿ ಮಚ್ ಫಾರ್ ದಿಸ್ ಆಪರ್ಚುನಿಟಿ. ಸ್ಕಾಲರ್ಶಿಪ್ಸ್, ಓಕೆ, ನಮ್ಮ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್ಗೆ ಒಂದು ಸ್ಕಾಲರ್ಶಿಪ್ ಅವಕಾಶ ಇದೆ. 80%, 90% PUC ಫಸ್ಟ್ PUC ಬಂದಾಗ ಏನು ಸ್ಕಾಲರ್ಶಿಪ್ ತೆಗೆದುಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ ಸುಮಾರು ಜನ ಅಲ್ವಾ? 80% ತೆಗೆದುಕೊಂಡಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥವ್ರಿಗೆ ಒಂದು ಸ್ಕಾಲರ್ಶಿಪ್, 90% ಅಂಡ್ ಅಬವ್ ಸ್ಕಾಲರ್ಶಿಪ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ. ಸೊ ಅದು ಡಿಗ್ರಿಯಲ್ಲೂ ಕೂಡ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಅದರ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಡಿಗ್ರಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಪೋರ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಮತ್ತು ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಲೆವೆಲ್, ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ ಲೆವೆಲ್ ಕಲ್ಚರಲ್ ಆಕ್ಟಿವಿಟೀಸಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾದರೂ ಎಕ್ಸೆಲ್ ಆದರೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೂ ಕೂಡ ನಿಮಗೆ ಸ್ಕಾಲರ್ಶಿಪ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ. ಸೊ ಇದನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಉಪಯೋಗಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಬೇಕಾದಷ್ಟು ಸಂಘ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆಗಳು ಇವತ್ತು ನಮಗೆ ಸ್ಕಾಲರ್ಶಿಪ್ಸ್, ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ ಮೆರಿಟ್ ಸ್ಕಾಲರ್ಶಿಪ್ಸನ್ನು ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಹಾಗೆ ಕಳೆದ ವರ್ಷ ನಾವು CSR ಫಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಪ್ರಾರಂಭ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ. ಬಹುಶಃ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಕಾಲೇಜಿನ ಪಕ್ಕದ ಒಂದು ಬಿಲ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ಹೊಸದಾಗಿ ಕಟ್ಟಿದ್ವಿ ನೋಡ್ಬೋದು. ಅದು ಪ್ಯೂರ್ಲಿ CSR ಫಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಇಂದ ಬಂದಿರ್ತದೆ. ಕಂಪನಿಗಳು ನಮಗೆ ಸ್ಪಾನ್ಸರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದೆ ಇನ್ಫ್ರಾಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ ಇಂಪ್ರೂವ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಗೆ. ಇನ್ನೂ ಹೆಚ್ಚು ಫೆಸಿಲಿಟೀಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ಇಂಪ್ರೂವ್ ಮಾಡುವ ನಿಟ್ಟಿನಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ. ಸೊ ನೀವೆಲ್ಲರೂ ಕೂಡ ಜೊತೆಯಲ್ಲಿದ್ದರೆ ವಿ ವಿಲ್ ಡೂ ಮೋರ್. ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಿ ವಿ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಗಿವ್ ಯು ಮೋರ್. ಇಷ್ಟು ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ತಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಆಲ್ ದ ಬೆಸ್ಟ್. ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು.